I'm Lexi. I'm in the US. And today I thought I would show you a few of my favorite things to put on the grill. We do the grill meal prep video every year and prep a whole bunch of meat, but meat does not a meal make. So I'm going to show you some of my favorite easy things to go along with it. But to do that, we have to start the grill, right? So I just built my new grill. It's not an incredibly nice grill. It was a cheap grill that will do what I need it to do. You don't have to have a $200 grill. You can get a cheap grill. This is a cheap grill. The only thing so far that I don't like about this grill is it's kind of low. So we're just going to have to deal with that together. But the first thing that we're going to do is put in some charcoal. You can go down a rabbit hole with charcoal. This is what I've always used. This is what my family used growing up. Is it the best? I don't know, but it's what I use. No, we're going to go this direction. I'm going to arrange this and then I'll show you what it looks like in here. So I like to set up the grill with the charcoal in the middle. That gives me a direct heat hot zone and two indirect heat, still hot but not so quite so hot zones. Next is lighter fluid. Now you need to be kind of careful with this stuff because clearly it is flammable. So I like to set up the grill with the charcoal in the middle. That gives me a direct heat hot zone and two indirect heat, still hot but not quite so hot zones. Next is lighter fluid, and you need to be careful with this because, well, it's flammable. So I'm going to give this a fairly liberal spray on the charcoal. And then I'm going to put it way over here, away from the fire. I don't even think that was still on camera. Before I get out my lighter with a nice long end to light the grill. And I'm just going to light this in several places. Is this the only way to start a grill? No, pretty sure it's not, but this is how I know how to do it, and this is how it's worked well for me. It's going to look a little scary for a minute. But once this flame dies down, and it will in like 5 to 10 minutes, put the lid of the grill on and leave the vent on like a medium and let it sit for half an hour. Just leave it alone, let it do its thing. The fire will burn down and the charcoal briquettes will start to smolder and turn gray. So just give it some time and I'll see you back here in about half an hour. Okay. So this has sat, and I actually had some trouble with the fire and had to restart it because only some of the coals caught. But this has been hot and smoldering and the coals are turning nice and gray, so we're ready to start cooking. The first thing I like to do is add wood chips. These are some mesquite wood chips I just bought wherever you buy charcoal, and I've been soaking them in water. You want to soak them for at least half an hour. So if you start these right before you start the grill, you're usually pretty good. And I do a fair amount. I'm going to add about half of these. That's going to give everything a beautifully smoky flavor. Then on goes the grill grate. And I said we've got meats, but I'm going to put that on last. First, we're going to do a really easy side dish. Baked beans. Of course, right? What is a barbecue without baked beans? But I am going to cook these on the grill. And I'm going to do that in a very simple way. Very easy. I'm going to peel off the label. I'm going to pop the top of the can open. I'm going to set it right there. You know what? I hope that this will go on. This is a different grill. Well, the lid won't exactly go on. I'll make it work. And I've got two more side dishes we're going to do. I made some jalapeno poppers. These are just jalapenos cut in half and the seeds are taken out. And then I put some cream cheese inside them and wrapped them in bacon. I'm going to put them, these take a while to cook, so I'm going to put them over more direct heat. And here I've got a zucchini that I cut in half and into pieces, and then I put some oil on the cut side. And I'm just going to put these kind of here at the edge of the hot zone. Now, clearly, you don't need to make this much food, this many options, but I'm trying to just give you a few different things you can try. And I've got two desserts that we're going to do too. One is just like the baked beans. I've got a can of cherry pie filling. So I'm going to strip off the label. Pop the lid. And put it on here over indirect heat. And yes, it's still going to be too tall for the grill. Hopefully your grill has a taller lid than mine, and I will have to sort out how to fix this problem. My other dessert requires a little bit more preparation. Take a piece of foil. This is a bigger piece than I probably needed. Fold it in half. So you've got a double thickness. And then I'm going to put in a whole banana. I'm going to peel this. And you can have some fun with this one, putting different toppings in with it. So I've got my whole banana, and I'm going to kind of make it a little boat. And in this bowl, I've got some cinnamon, some sugar, some butter, and some chocolate chips. And I'm just going to pour that right in here. You can use honey, you can use maple syrup, you can use peanut butter, anything that you think is going to taste good with a banana. I'm just going to wrap that up, close it up tight, make it a little bit smaller, and it's going to live right here by the zucchini. Now we've got the meal prep, the grill prep that we did. And this is some of my maple mustard soy steak. And I like cooking these kind of on semi-direct heat. Well, that one's going to have to go on a hotter spot. That one will just be more well done. Okay, got them all. I'm going to put the lid on this as best I can. And let this go for about 15 minutes. I'll see you then. It's only been about 10 minutes, but this fire is a little hotter than I thought it was going to be, so we're going to do some flipping and rearranging. I'm going to start by turning the steaks. There we go. That one's a little stuck. Get that one in a second. I think the banana's okay there. Ah, that's a little charry. We'll just take that one off. That one looks perfect. See, some of this stuff's done already, and usually it takes a little longer to cook. This one's not done. That one's done. Oh. That one's done. Ah, I lost my cream cheese. One of the things about grilling, maybe I shouldn't talk and flip. Well, that one I just lost the whole thing. It fell apart. One of the things about grilling is I usually grill when I'm trying to not get my kitchen hot. Because of that, I really like being able to do side dishes on the grill too, and dessert. And there we go. That one's a little charry. We'll go with that. Oh. And at this point, I'm going to throw on the rest of the wood chips. I'm just going to pour them on there and then use my flipper to knock them through the grill grate. And that just kind of gives everything another burst of smoke for the second half of the cooking. Clearly, since this is a new grill to me, I'm going to have to get used to managing this fire a little bit differently than I did my old one. There is a learning curve, right? And we're just learning together. But as I was saying, one of the things about grilling is I usually end up grilling when I'm trying to not turn on my stove or my oven and heat up my kitchen, heat up my house. So I like being able to do the full meal on the grill. And that's why I was showing you some side dishes and some desserts. Is it necessary to grill a dessert? No, but it's fun. And I've done all kinds of things on the grill. I've done chocolate chip cookies. I've done brownies. You can see now this is normal. This is how much smoke you're gonna get from those soaked wood chips. But I've done brownies and I've done an apple cobbler. And let me tell you that apple cobbler on the grill is absolutely stupendous. I cooked it in a cast iron skillet. It was beautiful. And I've done any number of other vegetables on the grill, either on like a grill pan or in like foil pouches. This is very smoky, I'm sorry. You know what? Well, that stuff is cooking. I think I'm going to move the camera and let's try some of the stuff that already came off the fire. One of my favorite things is this grilled zucchini. I look forward to being able to do this every year, going out, picking one off the garden, and throwing it right on the grill for dinner that night. This is some herb salt, and I like to finish these with a little bit of herb salt. I made this. If you don't have it, sorry, I'm still next to the grill, so smoke. If you don't have herb salt, don't worry about it. Just use some nice salt and whatever herbs sound good to you. That is so good. You get the smoke from the grill, the bite of the salt, the freshness of the herbs. Beautiful. I'm going to try one of these slightly burned jalapeno poppers next. See, I'm used to these taking like an hour to cook. I did not think it was going to get this cooked in 15 minutes. I really need some fire management. Delicious. Absolutely delicious. And let me tell you, these go over so well at parties. That's all I took off the grill already. So give me like 10 minutes and I'll see you back to try the rest of the stuff. I'm back, and I set up a proper plate this time rather than just taking bites of things here and there. So you can see what that looks like here. I've already tried the jalapenos and the zucchini. Let's go for the baked beans. Oh, to get the baked beans and the pie filling off the grill, use some nice heavy-duty tongs. Have a bowl ready. Pick the whole can up and dump it into a bowl. And then put the can somewhere where you're not going to burn yourself. Don't try and lift that. Just lift the whole thing up with the tongs and then dump it right into the bowl. Safety first. So baked beans. Baked beans are always beautiful. They're hot. They're a little more smoky than they normally would be, but that's why we're doing them on the grill. And steak. Now, I fully expect this to be overcooked. Managing this fire was not a strong suit of mine today. So I will get better at that, because that's what we do. We learn and we grow and we get better at things. Yeah, this is kind of overcooked, but it will still taste good because I know the marinade's delicious. I've made this marinade for the last 2 years. If you haven't watched my grill prep videos, go back and watch those. But this is a super simple marinade. It's just soy sauce, mustard, maple syrup, and some garlic. And it's one of my absolute favorites. That is delicious, even though it's overcooked. The pie filling, the cherry pie filling. Simple, simple, simple dessert. But we took it an extra step further with the smoke and a little bit of fun because it's on the grill. So if you want something simple for dessert, grab a can of pie filling, anything you like, and just throw it on the grill with some wood chips. Now, the dessert we put some effort into, and that was still minimal effort, right? The banana. I probably could have spread out the chocolate chips a little better in review, but it'll still taste delicious. Oh, wow. Right now, I'm really regretting only making one of those. But my fire's still hot, and I've got 2 more bananas in the house, so I really might just go throw some more on. But this, I could eat these every day. Yum. 10 out of 10. So good. Delicious. Yes, this was a lot of food options. You would probably just make one side dish, a meat, and maybe a dessert. But I wanted to give you some options here. Do you want to see some more of my grilling recipes as I struggle with heat management on my new grill? I can do that. I have lots of grill meat. But I'm going to leave you with one last thing. So we've got hot coals. I think you all know what you're supposed to do now. At least if you live in the US. It's time for s'mores. So that's all I've got for today. If you enjoyed the video, if you could give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, I'd really appreciate it. And as always, I'll see you next time. Bye.